Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Tunde, what's going on, Tunde?
Is that you on my screen?
Yes, it is, Yoda.
Yoda, it is.
You didn't start with a song, man.
I don't want to be too predictable.
Well, that's not predictable because you always switch up the song.
Yeah, I don't want to be too true. I mean, it's like I've been looking at our video of our podcasts on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, man, the consecutive days of wearing black shirts, you know?
What brand is that you got on there?
I don't know. Some kind of Amazon shit.
Orskin.
Dr. Skin, I think. Dr. Skin?
Oh, Dr. Skin. Okay, it looked like Orskin to me, and I'm like, boy, you put an F in front of that, and it's a whole different meaning.
Orskin.
What do you want? Foreskin?
Exactly. Well, of course. What are you wearing? If you're not wearing foreskin, what's your problem?
Hey, this kind of brings up something that I just thought of before we connected, okay? So, Roberta Flack died, right?
No, I did not know.
Yeah, 88 years old. She was killed softly by ALS.
Oh, man.
What?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Killing Me Softly with his song was her greatest hit.
Yeah, I see what you did there, Cav.
But
when did she die?
Yesterday.
Oh, man, that sucks.
What, too soon?
It's never too soon.
Exactly. So here's my thing. Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, that was named after Lou Gehrig because he had it, okay? And of all the things to have named after you, a disease that kills, okay? But it got me wondering, all right, do you think there's any Irishman named Pete O'File? I mean,
you got to immediately ditch that name.
You do. You have to.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be like, I don't know what you're thinking there, Dad. You didn't think this one through, did you, Dad? By the likes of the Blarney Stone, I gotta say. Dad, pull up a Guinness here. Pour it again. Let me talk to you.
That's a good brogue you got there, buddy.
I'm getting killed at work here, huh? I'm getting killed.
Got a restraining order by all the elementary schools. What the hell? Why?
Yeah, what are you doing there, Daddy? Ay. Conor McGregor. He's gonna kick my ass here.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Is that any good? It's been a while since I've done an Irish accent.
No, that was really good. Really good.
Well, that's awesome because I have 1.2% of Irish lineage there.
Yeah, because you did your ancestry.com and all that DNA kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I learned something recently because Audrey did it too. She leans more heavy German than I do.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. This shit's not adding up here. I mean, the math isn't right. And then, I learned something that different siblings have different numbers.
No kidding.
Yes. It's not all exactly the same. Like I may, I lean more, my heritage leans heavy British.
Yes.
Heavy English.
Tut Hill. Yes.
Yeah. Heavy English, Wales, Scotland. I mean, I'm heavy on that. Not as much of my mom's German side. But, that wouldn't necessarily be true for Todd and Tina and Terry. They may have different mixtures. They may have gotten heavy, more heavy on the German.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's certainly possible. Not every sibling has the exact percent mix.
That is really, really interesting.
At least that's what Audrey was telling me, probably to avoid that awkwardness.
No, Audrey's too pure. She ain't going to lie about that.
No, and it is. Of course, I fucking double check.
Yeah, absolutely. So how much Scandinavian do they have? Do you know?
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah.
A ton of the Sweden. I mean, and you can just look at Audrey and Jonas and tell.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of, but she has more German. I mean, she is a majority German, 56% German.
Wow.
And I'm not majority anything.
Yeah, you're pretty evenly split, right?
Well, yeah, but it's split among the kingdom.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's like 26% German. There's a little bit of Swedish in there. And then the rest of it is, is English. It's Irish, it's Wales, it's Scottish,
Sure. Yeah. A wee bit of Scottish.
Because they don't like them all jammed together. The last thing you want to do is tell like a Scottish person, hey, I'm just like you. Look at my ancestry, and it's like Irish and Wales or something. No, you're not. Yeah, no, laddie, you're not.
All of a sudden, they're fighting you with a bunch of horses and
put them up there, laddie,
and painting their faces blue.
Hey, Ian, we got ourselves a Cockney here that thinks he's one of us. So stupid.
Yeah. Whoever determined that was the greatest boxing stance with your fist backwards.
There's two times. I gotta tell you, and you know this of me. I was a little bit of a pugilist. You get to be 10, 11, 12 years old, up to about 22, 23.
It was a prolific career.
Yeah, you get yourself into these little brawls, these little spats, if you will. And there's a couple of ones of note, including a guy that squared off with me like that. He did, describe, Kev, for those not watching on YouTube, they're listening on the platform.
Yeah, it's the early boxing stance by John L. Sullivan. It's one hand is forward, but the back of your fist is showing instead of the knuckle part of your fist.
Yeah. So yeah, that unfortunately for that, and I guess fortunately is, I was laughing too hard at that to fight him. I thought he was kidding. I thought it was a joke. I was just laughing, and he's like, come on, let's go. Come on. I don't remember if he had an Irish accent, and I'm just inserting it. That seems to be the theme right now.
Yeah, well, anybody that holds their fist like that, that's what they have. Yeah, that's universally determined.
But I was just like, what, dude? No, man. I don't know what you're doing, man. Come on.
He was trying to diffuse the situation. He subscribed to the Tim Tuttle thing. And if you can't fight, make him laugh.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody around was that thing is when you get in a fight, all of a sudden, hey, it's on. Everybody starts gathering around.
Sure.
And as soon as everybody's gathered around, he's like, I'm like, what? I can't hit a dude that is this fucked up in the head. I can't.
Yeah, and he knew it.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, dude, I'll buy you a beer. Let's go. The second unusual one, I think it was I want to say probably sixth or seventh grade, and there was a guy in our class. His name is Mario Gennaro.
I've heard of Mario Gennaro.
Yeah, he was actually related to the Milwaukee Ballesteros, which are the mob.
La Familia,
well known for getting rid of people via car bombing. They invented the car bombing.
Wow, that's something to hang your hat on.
Hey, let me tell you, we didn't do real good with the numbers. We weren't real good with the prostitution. And hey, we could have done better with, the bribing and shit like that. But the thing we nailed, we were good at bombing. and that was a big revenue when other families throughout the nation, because they were all connected, Kev.
Of course they are.
The Cosa Nostra, they were all connected.
Yeah.
When they wanted somebody bombed out, they called Milwaukee. and Milwaukee would send this guy, hey, okay, no problem. Hoboken, New Jersey. All right, what's this fucking mooly look like, huh? You know?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
But Mario Gennaro, he decided that he was going to get a little squirrely one day. I think we were playing Foursquare or kickball or something like that. And, like sixth and seventh grade in the early 80s, Kev, you remember.
Of course.
We loved our Foursquare.
We did. Yeah.
Do they even play that now?
No.
Do they play kickball?
There's actually a professional kickball league. Did you know that?
I love kickball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, we were having one of those playground recess disputes or whatever. And, I was just, he was trying to get in my face about some kind of call or something. I just pushed him. I said, Mark, get the fuck away from me. Now, I did that when I did not realize, Kev, that he was connected at that point.
Uh-huh.
It was shortly thereafter that I learned that Mario was connected. Otherwise, I probably would have handled it a little differently.
A little bit.
Because everybody in Milwaukee, we knew about the Balistraries.
Uh-huh.
You don't fuck with the Balistraries.
Correct.
Anyway, he squares off with me after I push him, doesn't do the bad thing. But what he decided to do was take swings at me and add his own sound effects.
That's how I know Mario Gennaro.
That's it. You remember this story?
Of course I do.
Yeah, he was going Biff and Kapow, just like Batman on TV when we were kids.
Yeah, zap, boom.
Yeah. Again, Kev. Yeah, everybody around, because they gathered around from the kickball teams. They gathered around because here goes Tuttle again. and they heard him doing that. Everybody just started cracking up.
Of course.
And he even started laughing too because he didn't realize he was doing it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, how would you not want to fight Mario Gennaro every day?
Oh my God. It was, well, the thing is, and I didn't learn it, is you didn't fight Mario Gennaro every day because his uncle is a Balistrary.
Right.
And again, had I known that, I would never have done. If he had a problem with the kickball, I'd be like, "Hey, you're right, man. I was out." Anything you want, Mario.
That's right.
I want my dad to be able to turn his ignition in his car and it not blow up tomorrow.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, my dad with his Griswold station wagon wood panel. I'd hate to see that because I got in a dispute with, one of the son of the disciples or whatever. That my dad was no longer allowed to live. No, from that point on, Mario was much more palatable to me.
Of course he was. Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, what the hell were we doing? Okay. You just got into Roberta Flack. Why don't you just continue as you heard right there? I had no idea who died. I don't know who dies anymore. And maybe that can get that. You can do that when you lead with the things that I didn't know or hear about over the past week because I'm off the grid right now and I just don't watch news. I don't comb through social media. I'm just doing my own thing in my own pocket of the world. Roberta Flack died. Anytime somebody else dies, let me know. Because I found out one, I can't remember what it is, a few weeks ago. I had no idea that they'd passed away. None.
Oh, Al Troutwig died the other day too. Remember Al Troutwig, the great sports commentator, did Ironman triathlons, did the Olympics a few years. Brilliant broadcaster.
No, I did not. Who else has died recently off the top of your head, Kev? Celebrity wise. I can't, there was one that was like, man, I wish I'd have known when that happened, but it happened like weeks or months ago or whatever.
Yeah. I'm having a difficult time remembering anybody from earlier this year. I know there are some, but I can't remember who they.
Okay. Just kind of have that on your to-do list. If somebody, I need to know if people that we grew up and had an effect on us pop culture wise, I need to know if they died, so I could give the memory thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to do that.
So what's happening in the world? I don't know if you're going to cover this or not, but I just want to say there's one current event thing that I really dug.
What is it?
That NHL Four Nations shit was awesome.
Yeah, it beats any All-Star game that anybody could ever put forth. That was what took place of the All-Star game. They didn't have an All-Star game. They did that instead.
That is the way to do it. I don't know. Again, NBA and NBA's was around the same time too, and that was horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, that was god awful. And the NFL's Pro Bowl is a fucking joke too. I mean, NBA and NFL, even if you have to shut shit down for a week like they did, do something like that, because Kev, I'm watching NHL games now because of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was the best advertising the NHL could have done.
Yeah. Yep.
The Four Nations, I love that. And I love the final was USA versus Canada.
Correct. At the TD Garden in Boston.
They beat us in overtime.
Yeah.
However, we will get the last laugh when Canada becomes our 51st state.
Well, they're calling us their 11th province now.
I like that. I like that. Go ahead.
We had the interesting. So the college hockey team that I'm the public address announcer for, Drury University, the coach rented out a theater, like a movie theater, and we watched it. We watched it as a team with all the players, all the coaching staff, Trish, me, and a couple of the other volunteers. And there's 22 Canadians on the team and 4 Americans. And the 4 Americans sat together up in the top, and the 22 Canadians sat together down at the bottom. And it was amazing to watch those Canadians just burst with pride and enthusiasm when Connor McDavid scored that game winner.
That was pretty huge. I mean, again, Kev, when you're talking about Canada, there are cute little brothers. Who will eventually be our 51st state. Who, once you make them a part of our talent pool, we will dominate international competition till the end of time.
Well, but we beat them 2 nights before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. The Kachuk brothers were 2 of them that fought.
Yeah, I like that. The Kachuk brothers were like, "No, you can't boo our national anthem. Sorry."
Well, and they also did that because they wanted to set the tone that they were not going to back down. And so they actually set that up, that they were going to go out there and fight in the first 10 seconds of the game because they wanted to set the tone that, hey, we're in your face.
Yeah, I like that. There's all kinds of mind stuff happening in hockey games.
Indeed.
There's all kinds of psychological shit. That's why I kind of miss the goons, to be honest with you. I miss them.
Oh, they're coming back.
Oh, good. You got to protect these little gnats and flies that are making all the moves and scoring and everything like that. I mean, you knew never to fuck with Gretzky because you would get your ass kicked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marty McSorley was going to take care of you.
Oh, yeah. And some of the other goons like Probst and Teo Manti. What is that? What is that?
Oh, Ty Domi.
Ty Domi.
Now, he was a little guy, dude. He was a little guy, and he threw down. He
would wrap the jersey. And that's hard to do when you got a shorter guy. He would wrap the jersey, and then he would punch up, and that's hard, man. He would get in there where some bigger guys would be away from you, and they can't get in there.
Yeah.
So he had a great technique.
No, check out the New York Rangers. There's a kid. He's in his 2nd season. His name is Matt Rempe, Rempe. And in his first 5 games, I want to say he had 6 fights.
I like it, man. I mean, I know they tried to clean up hockey, but you got to have that element there. Every so often the fans like when the gloves drop. They like that.
It serves a purpose, and the purpose is if your team is down and you need to infuse some electricity with your team, that's one of the easiest and fastest ways to do it, is get into a fight, okay? Another thing is it tells you that, hey, you know what? We're not backing down from you. We might be at a disadvantage with the amount of goal scoring we have. We're not going to back down from you. And yes, it is. It's a crowd pleaser.
Well, and the most important thing is you got to protect the goal scorers. You have to. And most of those dudes are, tell me if I'm wrong, Kev, 30, 40, 50 pounds lighter than average hockey players on the ice.
Yeah, they're faster skaters, but they are usually smaller in stature. Which I was talking to our coaches last night during the coaches show that we recorded, and I asked about Alex Ovechkin because Ovechkin is 13 goals away from becoming the all-time leading scorer in NHL history, beating Wayne Gretzky's number. And
Crazy.
I asked, I said, who's better, Ovechkin or Gretzky? And the coaches both said you can't compare because Gretzky was slighter in stature and Ovechkin's a different player because he's bigger and he does assert his physical dominance. I'm like, so wouldn't that make him better because he would be an all-around player? He goes in there, he hammers people, and he scores goals. And they said it's just a different NHL now. The size is way different too.
Yeah, Kev, I was looking at around Super Bowl time, the starting offensive lines of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers 1967 Super Bowl one.
They had that stat. Yeah, isn't that like 100 pounds difference?
It's crazy, Kev.
Oh, it's nuts.
I've tightened up a little bit. I've leaned out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in my 225, 230, I could have played a guard for that Green Bay Packer team.
Yes, you could have. Yeah.
I 6'2", 230. I could have been an offensive guard in the NFL around the time I was born.
And 6'2", 230, you're a small linebacker now.
Oh, Kev, I'm a decent sized safety.
Yeah.
Free safety.
Yeah. So, and it's the speed at which they're playing too.
Yeah,
those big guys in football and then hockey. Holy smokes!
The way they move. I mean, it is a completely different ball game. But yeah. I, when you get a guy like Gretzky, he's one of those dudes, just like Jordan. They're those type of dudes that would figure out a way to dominate somehow.
Well, Gretzky was famous for the line, "I don't go where the puck is, I go where the puck's going to be." That was a revolutionary statement at the time,
Yeah.
So that's what set him apart. Was he didn't go where the puck was, he was going where the puck was going to be, and nobody's there except Wayne Gretzky.
It's funny because that's the same thing the good quarterbacks that they do when they're in the passing game. It's like, I'm going to throw the ball where you should be.
Yeah.
You should be there. If you aren't there, you didn't get your separation, and that's on you.
Right. Yeah. Well, if you're throwing the ball to where a guy is, they're not going to be there when that ball arrives.
Nope. It's called pick six, baby.
That's right. Hey, I know we're talking about the different things that have happened, and I'd like to get back to that. But we're talking about Wayne Gretzky, and that leads me to my top three for you.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top three.
Top three greatest athletes that you saw live. You were in the stadium or in the arena. You saw them live.
Kev, the first thing that pops into mind, and I know this is, you tell me if I'm out of line here, because my upbringing in terms of auto racing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, I would like to tell you a few race car drivers that noticeably you could see even from the stands, like a ways away, that they were better, more aggressive, took more aggressive lines, and were just better racers. Can I start there?
It is your top three, my brother. Do whatever you want.
Kev, Nigel Mansell.
I loved him.
That guy, you could tell, was on a different level.
British guy, wasn't he?
British guy, and just one of those guys, you could visibly see it. Dale Earnhardt.
Senior.
Senior. I mean, Dale Jr. was okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But his dad was just a different kind of animal.
Yes.
And the same with Jeff Gordon. You could just look at Jeff Gordon and notice he's doing shit that's different.
Uh-huh.
But the best of all, Kev, it was Rick Mears.
Rick Mears.
Like when I was a kid, from the late 70s, I think he won his first one in 79. Kev will put it right here. He won one in 79. That was his first one, and I was there for that one. I was 10 years old.
He won four? Did he win four?
He won four.
Uh-huh.
He won four. Yeah, he won one in 79, a couple in the 80s, and then I think he won one in the 90s. Again, Kev will have all his years of winning right here posted. But yeah, from that time, late 70s to early 90s, when you were at the Indianapolis 500, or even if you were just watching closely on the ABC telecast, you notice he is aggressive. And yes, he had the Penske machinery, but he is aggressive. He takes a different line and he jukes and fakes the other guys like you really don't see too often.
Okay.
So Rick Mears, incredible to watch in person. I love this, which is the reason why I acted like a schoolgirl when I saw him in Houston before the Grand Prix about, 10 years ago.
Hey, how lucky do you think we are that we got to see Elio live?
Elio Castroneves was great. That was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we also hung out with, I forget his name, the guy with the nose.
Oh, Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan. I love Tony Kanaan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Dale Jr. was there.
But I mean, getting to actually see them live and performing. I mean, at the time we saw Elio, he was the greatest driver on the planet. Right?
Yeah. When he did the Spider-Man. Yeah. That was great. That was great. That race started off with my brother flying over the
Black Hawk helicopters.
In the Black Hawk helicopter before, which was awesome, and then ended with Elio climbing up on the fence.
Yeah, dude, I was bawling when Todd flew over.
Wasn't that awesome?
Oh my God, man. Yeah. I mean, it's emotional, even if you don't know one of the pilots just flying down the front stretch. But man, to know that, my radio partner's brother's up there, yeah, that was pretty badass.
And I remember because you were a little ways away from me, so I was sitting next to some strangers.
Uh-huh.
And I during it, I was like, "That's my brother up there in the helicopter." I was a little buzzed, and the guy's like, "Sure it is." No, wait, man, you can't tell this guy. Tell him.
Yeah, well, I couldn't because I was crying. So.
He's crying. He's crying. God dang it. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was cool. All right. Let's go. Let's get back into the. I'm trying to think live sports. I saw in the 2022 season, just before the Astros won the World Series.
Uh-huh. I
saw Alvarez get 3 home runs in one game. I was at that game.
That's amazing.
I thought that was awesome. That was impressive to me.
Hey, what's Houston's attitude about Bregman leaving?
It's pretty quiet.
Is it? Okay.
But then again, Kev, I'm off the grid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But now he's with the Boston Red Sox, so he's our mortal enemy. Fuck him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, the Astros moved on. They moved on. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but I thought they made a pretty decent offer to him. So I don't know what the problem was.
No, exactly. So which is why, hey, fuck them.
Yeah, there you go.
Go to Boston. Let's go. Go languish in Boston. Watch Kev. They'll win the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, it's impossible for anybody to beat the Yankees or the Dodgers. They're the greatest.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Fucking hate those fuckers.
So Alvarez, a 3 home run game. That was amazing.
That was amazing. Kev, I watched Vince Carter.
Oh, yeah. NBA player.
NBA player. I got the opportunity to watch him in an Orlando Magic game, Toronto Raptors, back in his rookie season or second year or something like that. And Jesus, that dude is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I saw him get a couple breakaway dunks, and I was like, "Wow, that was cool."
Nice.
Kev, I was there with Peyton Manning 50th touchdown back in 2004.
Oh, cool.
I was there for that. That was awesome.
Dude, no Robin Yount.
Oh, Kev, Robin Yount was awesome to watch in person. I mean, particularly that 1982 season was amazing. I loved it. And Kev, I even liked watching Pete Vukovich pitch.
Greatest stash. He and Raleigh Fingers had a great stash.
Oh, he had the Fu Manchu, man.
Yeah,
the funny thing, Kev, because I'm a little kid. I'm young then. I'm just a young kid when we got Vukovich. The Brewers got Vukovich, and I saw him outside of County Stadium. You could wait outside and watch them come through the doors, and he was the scariest looking dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he frightened people. but he was the nicest guy. Anybody that had the balls to go up and actually talk to him, because he just looks menacing.
Right.
And maybe it's because I'm a kid, but he just looked menacing, looked scary. It looked like, don't bother this guy. But, if you did walk up to him, and, not as many walked up to him as Molitor and Yount and Cecil Cooper, Gorman Thomas always had a following, the big lovable teddy bear Gorman. But if you walked up to Vukovic, he would talk to you, man. He would and joke around with you and, pat you on the head and hit on your mom and try to fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vuk was all right, man.
Nice.
But the only real dick I remember was the Indiana Pacers had a player named Dale Davis, and I saw him at a bar in Indianapolis, and I was like, man, good to meet you, buddy, big fan. And he just looked at me like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, dude, I'm the guy that goes to your games and pays your salary.
Yeah, I'm just and Kev and whenever he faltered, I was just like, you got it coming, motherfucker.
Dude, that's another great athlete you got to see live, Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller was fun, man. I saw him when he drained like 7 3-pointers in 2 quarters, man. I mean, he got hot. It was over.
I know you're going to say Jordan, but for my money, if the ball game's on the line, I'm giving the ball to Reggie Miller. That dude, he could hit clutch all day.
I never saw Michael Jordan in person.
Yeah, I never did either.
Never watched him in person. I always put it off. I'm like, I'll get him next year, and it just never happened. And that's one regret I have.
Of course,
is not seeing him. But well, who do you got? Who are your top 3?
My 3 are Barry Sanders. Yep.
You saw him Oklahoma State when he was a Cowboy.
When he won the Heisman.
Yeah,
that was my freshman year.
Man, that was an unbelievable season. He had like 2,200 yards or something like that from line of scrimmage.
I want to say he had 5 games or 6 games of 300 plus yards in a game.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's crazy.
Gretzky, when I was a sophomore in high school, I saw the Edmonton Oilers play the St. Louis Blues, and Gretzky tapped his stick at me on the glass.
Kev, can I tell you this? And,
Please do.
You can look this up if you don't believe me. Before he went to the NHL, he played for the Indianapolis Racers as a 17-year-old.
I believe it.
Look it up and double check it.
Okay.
And we used to do ice skating. We used to have ice skating sessions and everything like that. And there was a time, we get done and then the racers come out and they have to practice. And at that time he had a little mullet going on and everything like that. And I remember that we would gather around because we'd watch him do drills, and we just couldn't believe how fluid he was, how quick he was, and the fact that he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying in the background, see that guy right there? He will one day be the best there ever was.
Well, he's called the greatest.
And everybody was chuckling. He's 17 years old. And look at him. He looks so skinny and young and everything like that. He's going to get his ass kicked by these monsters up in the NHL. People were thinking that.
Yeah. No, it didn't happen.
But yeah, Gretzky, that was cool. I just saw him in practice.
Okay. Well, you got to see him. You got to see him before anybody knew, man. That's awesome.
At 17.
Yeah, that's super cool. And then I kind of have a toss up. I don't know if it would be Ichiro or Kobe.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
When did you see Ichiro?
Well, when he played for the Yankees at Minute Maid against the Astros, made that.
How did he do that game?
Oh, how didn't he do? It was amazing. He made the greatest throw I've ever seen. You can say that Dave Parker throw in the All-Star game was number 1. I'm going to say that's number 2 now from what I saw Ichiro do. He threw a BB from the base of Towles Hill to home plate and threw out somebody tagging up from third. It was a rope that he threw from that far away in center field.
Better than Bo Jackson, Harold Miner?
Yep. I know, dude. I know we're splitting hairs, but I mean, I saw it live. It was amazing.
That is cool that you saw it live.
Yeah. The bottom line is we have been very, very lucky in our life to see some great athletes, professional athletes live.
Yes. Speaking of which, Kev, I would, you know how I am. I like to look up, air disasters. It's a thing of mine.
Is that a rabbit hole?
Well, not really. I did because it was just the Kobe one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So unfortunate, right? What happened right there at the helicopter crash. It was a guy that was just a really, really good pilot. And I think because initially that came out that Kobe, they're saying Kobe probably may have pressured him to get to the basketball tournament quick, but that's not the case at all. Every pilot has said Kobe has never said anything. He has always said, "Let us do our job, get us there safely." But this guy was such a fan of Kobe's, and somebody that he wanted to impress. He wanted to impress Kobe so much that he got caught in some fog, and he got that spatial thing where he didn't know up from down, didn't realize he was banking left, thought he was rising, and he's banking left straight into a hill at 160 miles an hour, man.
Dang. Yep.
Yeah, that's
going to leave a mark.
Yeah, that's too. Hey, did you know? And again, for those of you who are a little sensitive, you might want to tune away just for a minute or so. But do you know that they found Kobe in pieces?
Yeah.
Okay, you knew that.
Yeah. Well, I thought some of him was burned.
Well, yeah, and they when they had the autopsy, it's like they had to put a leg here, a leg there, and his brain. They couldn't find his brain.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know why, because that part of that rabbit hole is I was looking in the autopsy stuff, and I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's 160 miles an hour into a brick wall. Yeah, that's some impact.
Yeah. None of them felt again.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the saving grace. You didn't feel it.
No, but they didn't even know because it was zero visibility, Kev.
Mm-hmm. I know, yeah.
I mean, it was zero visibility. I mean, 1 minute you're like talking and goofing around with Joe and everything like that because Joe Altobelli was in there too. You're goofing around, and then the next thing you know, it's just over.
Yep.
You're doing the heaven float, going, "What the fuck happened there?"
Yeah.
Nice wings, Joe. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, shit, man. I knew that fog was a little thick.
Yeah.
Ouch. Anyway, Kev, what else? What else is happening in the world that I need to know about? Anything?
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you because we started the program with talking about, odd names. Here's a guy in Nebraska. He has his own daughter. She's 2 years old, and she can't get a Social Security card or an actual birth certificate because the mom, when she gave birth, it was a home birth, and she immediately gave it to a foster family in Nebraska, and they had the hospital spit out a computer name for this girl. Now, her real name is Carolyn. That's what the dad's calling her. On her fake or on her temporary birth certificate that they cannot get changed, her name is Unikite 13 Hotel.
Unikite 13 Hotel.
That is on her temporary birth certificate that the Nebraska courts won't change because they say that the guy had nothing to do with the name, and so he can't properly get a birth certificate for her. So he's hired a lawyer and all that kind of stuff. But yeah,
that's just ridiculous. I mean,
isn't it?
Again, it's a common sense thing. Use your discretion.
Yeah.
I know, we got to keep to tight regulations. That whole zero tolerance and tight that's just stupid. You're a fucking judge, man. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to judge that you can't have some third grade little girl walking around with a fucking name like this. Let her get a real name. But no, you got to be an asshole in a black robe with a hammer thinking you're the shit. No, you're not the shit. You're the fucking problem.
Well, she can't get any health care or anything because you need a Social Security number for that.
Again, all of these out of line, and I hear about it, Kev, all the time about these judges who get just drunk on power because they can't be beaten in an election or they're given the gig for a lifetime gig and they're just out of control. There should, again, more citizen tribunals, Kev. start judging the judges and putting them in fucking prison if they're out of line. Seriously, it's just ridiculous.
Well, we said that a computer picked that name, Unikite 13 Hotel. Here's another computer issue, and I can't wait to get your assessment of this. A new album was recorded over in Britain, and it's called Is This What We Want? And it was recorded by 1,000 British musicians, including Annie Lennox, Cat Stevens, Damon Albarn from Blur, and Kate Bush. And you know what they recorded?
What?
12 songs of silence. Each artist went into a room and just stood there, and they recorded 12 songs of silence. And they're doing it in protest because, check this out, Tim. The UK government is consulting on whether to let tech firms use copyrighted material to help train AI models. So they want to use these artists' real songs, copyrighted material, and let AI train with them to basically make these artists obsolete.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this a few months ago that eventually there will be no Hollywood. All the movies will be just AI generated.
Uh-huh.
That's where we're going. I mean, all you'll have to do is feed the script into the AI and it'll spit out your movie.
Yeah.
That's where this is going. You know, Jonas told me that a long time ago because he's always been ahead of the curve. He's the AI, software engineer guy. He just said, yeah, there's so many industries that are over. So the thing about live music though and musicians is you still have the live music concert option.
Yeah.
The AI holograph thing is not going to take you over.
No, there's nothing like a live concert.
But yeah, your music is just going to be, okay, run of the mill or just like whatever,
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine why the government would want to do that. Take copyrighted material, somebody's hard labor, and just not compensate them for it. Basically steal it.
Yeah, well, as we know from Napster 25 years ago, we don't like to pay for shit,
True, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, what else is happening, Kev?
That's about all that I found that would be interesting to you. So,
Speaking of found, Kev, you know what I found? I like to enter sports betting contests.
Yes.
Now I don't put my own money along because I live in Texas, and
you can't.
Since I live in Texas, I'm treated like a child by people in Austin. They won't allow me to bet on poker or they bet on sports or anything like that, which is ridiculous. I mean, we should be the freest state in America instead of this bullshit fucking nanny state. Whatever. Anyway, I was doing some research, looking for a plum pick, and Kev, this to me is one of the saddest things. Last month, a NCAA basketball team, North Carolina A&T. Did you hear about this?
No, I have not.
They suspended 3 players.
Okay.
And it was undisclosed, but there were rumors floating around that it probably is a point shaving scandal.
Oh, wow.
Now, for those who don't know what a point shaving is, Kev, please explain.
Well, it means that they're purposely throwing the game. They're trying to take points off the board.
Yeah, either completely throwing the game or just not winning by as much or making sure you keep the total underneath, you do your part to not score or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what point shaving is. So just hearing the rumor, the NCAA launched its own internal investigation. And you know what their conclusion is?
What?
There was no point shaving whatsoever. This is just a really, really bad team.
Wow. Nice.
Isn't that sad, man?
That's very sad.
The NCAA is just like, yeah, they're not good.
I mean, it's sad about that, but I mean, it's good for those 3 players that got suspended that they didn't do anything wrong.
I don't know if they're out of suspension, and I'm not sure that was even it. It was a point shaving thing. It may have been something else.
Oh, okay.
But obviously the North Carolina A&T coach, he needs them back on the team.
Yeah, get the talent, man. Bring it.
Because they're terrible, Gav.
That's unreal.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Kev, anyway, Kev, I've come to the conclusion. You know me on my deep thought cardio, and I want to know what your feel about this is.
Okay. Deep thought cardio.
When I was doing deep thought cardio, I was just thinking, everybody's mama fucking lied to them.
How so? I saw this on the BP.
You're not special. You're not one in a million. People like you grow on trees. They really do. I mean, yeah, you're different. You're different. It's like a snowflake. Everybody's different like a snowflake, but a snowflake in the end is just a bunch of really chilled fucking water. It's not that special.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about that, as some mom, I'm watching some mom, this poor kid just cannot hit a baseball.
Oh.
She's trying to pitch to him underhand or whatever. Tommy, you can do. Oh, that was a good swing. That was good. I just like the kid's not special. This is not his thing.
Right.
This is not. It's your thing because you want it to be your thing. So you're putting it on the kid. The kid's unhappy. The kid doesn't want to be out there. He wants to be doing something else.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people's thing. There's only 32 teams, and there's only 26 people on a team. In the major leagues, it's not a lot of people.
And God bless her. She's keeping it positive. Oh, that was a good swing. We just got to level it out a little bit more, and this, that, and the other. And I was just thinking about my own upbringing. I mean, my own mother never said anything positive to me at all.
Uh-huh.
Ever. Not one time. Not once. Nothing. I mean, not when I was hitting home runs, not when I was striking out, the side for 6-7 innings in a row, not when I was dunking a basketball. I mean, never had anything positive to say to me. Kev, I've told you this before. When we were in Tallahassee, we had our first Tuttle and Kline billboard.
Yep.
And I drove past the billboard, trying to have Gavin look up because it said Tuttle and Kline and huge letters on a billboard. And nothing. Just nothing. Just nothing. And I finally just said, "Did you see that? Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, yeah. What? Just nothing." And I remember a few years ago, driving her around, like the last time she was in Houston, and let her know, hey, we want another Marconi. We're CMA Radio Personality of the Year, Kevin and Erica and I, and she immediately go, well, you should see some of the things Todd's doing with the Black Hawk helicopters. Immediately into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never got anything like positive, nothing.
You used it as motivation.
I got to tell you, I couldn't thank her enough for doing that for me.
Uh-huh.
Because that chip on the shoulder has been a huge motivator.
Yeah.
Huge motivator. So I don't understand. I think that we owe, and again, I know, there's people that are listening or watching right now. Oh, Tim, we hear about all the nice things and positive feedback you give your own kids.
Well, yeah, you learn how not to do it.
Yeah, I fill them with positive reinforcement all the time, with a caveat though. I tell them you're entitled to nothing.
Yeah. Well, and you don't sugarcoat anything with them either.
No,
you don't make them think that they're better than what they are. When you tell a kid that can't hit a baseball, oh, you're doing good. You're just setting that kid up for more failure.
Well, no, and that's another important thing. You never ever make the kids live through your shit.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah, through your shit. I think that's something that happened to you. Your dad wanted to be a baseball player so bad or something like that, or wanted to be a pro athlete or somebody like that, that once you showed, oh, my boy Kevin's got some skills, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was motivated by negativity as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, after every season with my kids, I always, I like, hey, Audrey, you still having fun with this volleyball thing? Is it still, do you want to try new stuff? She's like, oh, no, Dad, I'm a fucking All-American. We're gonna ride this ride a little more.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, every time I walk down I'm a freshman, Dad, and every time I walk down the hall, seniors salute me. I'm cool with this, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but anyway, that's what it comes from. This poor kid. Just watching this poor kid, just trying to uncomfortably let his mother know, hey man, I just want to go home. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Oh, for sure. Yeah, because if you're continuously getting this kid to do something that he knows he's not good at, you're just reinforcing a negative perception of himself.
And encourage them.
Let's find something you're good at. Let's find something you're good at and that you like.
Well, yeah, not even the good at, the passionate about, because you can always get good if you're passionate.
Yeah.
Don't limit it to good, because I'm a great masturbator, but I don't want to join any professional leagues.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, just because you can, and that even includes in life too, in terms of career, you can monetize your passions.
Yeah. Oh, now it's easy.
And that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, hey, whatever your passion, go with that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do some brainstorming and we'll figure out a way that you can monetize that.
Right.
Because I want for them what we had. I mean, we had 98% of our radio career was a blast because it was a passion.
Absolutely. Oh, there was nothing else we wanted to do.
Exactly. So I want that for my kids too. I want them to do their passion.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of how much money doesn't matter.
Oh no, I always tell kids this: if you are willing to work for free, then you have found your passion.
That's it. That is exactly it. And Kev, I was thinking about that the other day. Like I had somebody asking me, hey, you've been futures trading, watching charts for hours every morning for the past 3 years. You still enjoying it? I'm like, fuck yeah, I love it. I just love it. And I probably would even do it if I wasn't making any money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is just the puzzle, solving the daily puzzle, matching my wits against the most brilliant minds and robots and algorithms in the world. So yeah, I would. So I'm getting a second chapter of the passion.
Yeah, you've always loved challenges, and that's a challenge.
Oh, it's a huge challenge, Kevin, and I enjoy it. I really like you. You had a 30-year career on something you enjoyed, and now you have the option of making sure that you enjoy everything. And here you are, you're the public address announcer of a college hockey team, and also a AA baseball team for the St. Louis Cardinals. How fun is that?
Dude, I pinch myself every day. And, I thanked the coaches last night during the coaches show that I hosted. I'm like, I just can't believe that I'm lucky enough to be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. And they'll feed you with the stuff that we were fed in the radio career. It's like, oh, no, you're good. We're glad you're here,
Yeah.
And you're just like, I would have done it for half the money. Seriously, I would have done it for half the money,
Well, yeah. I mean, again, if you'll do it for free, I volunteer for the hockey team.
Circling back to my trading, Kev. I mean, I just got done making money, about an hour and a half ago, and I'm done for the day. I solved the puzzle. I beat the robots. I beat the MIT and Harvard graduates and got my little taste for today.
Uh-huh.
And I just love that.
And you don't have to go into somebody's office and find out how badly you messed up on the air because you didn't talk about this and you didn't talk about that. And, well, I would have taken a different approach on this, I'm
a new owner and a new manager for the owners, and I don't give a fuck who you are and what you've done for 17 years. You don't matter to me.
Yeah.
You don't. And I'm going to get my own voice in here because you're Johnny Chang's voice. You're not my voice.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to deal with any of that shit.
Yeah. So.
And I love it.
Much simpler life.
I know. Hey, Kev, let's talk about rabbit holes. Do we have time?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
All right. Let's go into rabbit holes real quick.
Rabbit hole of the week.
All right. First off, what did you find yourself just completely, oh my God, I've been on this for hours now. I can't get out.
It's kind of similar to what I talked about last week where I was watching dog videos. I was looking up adoptable dogs this week.
Really?
Yeah. So,
are you wanting now you have your Pomeranians, right?
Well, we have one. The mayor died last year, the Pinto.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, you didn't know.
I forgot, man. I'm sorry. No, I did. You told me, and I'm so sorry, man. I forgot.
It's all good, buddy. But Beans
hold on. No. I want to do this right now. No, quick moment of silence for the mayor.
All right. Thanks.
That was less than a month. We want a moment of silence for the mayor.
All right.
Wow, you didn't like the mayor. That's a moment of silence.
People are going to think we went off the air.
Let me tell you this right now. Kevin Kline, more than anything in the world, hated dead air.
Oh, I couldn't stand it, man. Couldn't stand it.
Oh my God. Oh, you could see his skin turning inside and out going, oh my God, we're off the fucking air. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, we still have Beans and because he doesn't have a companion around anymore, he is like a completely different dog. He is so skittish. He is so afraid of everything. And so we're thinking about getting him a companion just to make sure that, he's mentally stable.
Oh, poor guy. How old is he now?
7.
That's 49 to you and me.
That's correct, sir. Yeah.
So he's your age. So now he's bitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaded.
Yeah, irritable.
Goddamn government. Yeah. All right. So what kind of dogs are compatible with Pomeranians?
Oh, we're still looking at Poms. Yeah. I mean, we're pretty well set on the breed.
Gotcha.
I would love to get a German Shepherd or a Great Dane. I just don't want to clean up all that big poop.
Well, not only that, but you got a giant dog and a little Pomeranian, and if that German Shepherd ever gets hungry,
yeah, right.
Sorry, man, I had to do it. I was hungry. You guys took too long to fill the bowl, motherfucker. It's your fault. Your fault. And yes, he was delicious.
I bet. So yeah, that's where I've been. What about you?
Kev, I've been looking up like the origins of extreme sports.
Okay.
Because I'm very interested in the people who decided, hey man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the first. And I guess you can really even start with the Wright brothers. I mean, those guys were extreme sports enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Flying an airplane then was risky shit, man. That's crazy ass shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And the one I really got into was base jumping.
Okay. Have you done that?
I have not, and that's
okay.
That's how it all started. Is I started checking it out and then watching documentaries. Base jumping, for those of you who don't know, BASE is actually an acronym, and I didn't know this until I started investigating. BASE is B is for building, A is for antennas, like radio and TV towers.
Uh-huh.
S is for spans, bridges.
Okay.
And E is earth, like cliffs and shit.
Yeah.
So that's base jumping. And it was pretty much invented in the early 70s. A guy named Carl Banish invented it when he decided, skydiving is not enough. The Yosemite National Park, I don't know if you ever heard of El Capitan.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the rock formation at Yosemite.
Yeah.
He decided him and some friends were just going to jump off of it and then parachute down.
And
that's how base jumping started.
How long do you get to free fall on a base jump? Because you're jumping from a shorter
4 or
altitude.
5.
4 or 5 seconds. That's it, huh?
4 or 5 seconds. Well, hey, Kev, here's the thing, and this is how they do it, is they'll go from where they want to jump off, they'll drop a rock and count.
Really?
And that's how they know when to pull the chute, just before that count.
Holy smokes.
That's it. That's it. Did you know the first building Carl Banish and his crew, the first building that they ever jumped off of? Houston, Texas.
Really?
The Texas Commerce Building, which is now the J.P. Morgan Chase building downtown Houston, when it was up for construction back in the early 80s, I think 1981, is still under construction. They went up there, up the stairs. Construction sites, they don't have heavy security. You could just walk right in, and that's what they did. On a Sunday when nobody's constructing, they just walked right in, walked up the stairs, went off the top, jumped, boom.
Yeah, you want to see how lax security is on construction of a building? Look up the documentary Man on Wire. It's about Philippe Petit, and he stretched a cable across the World Trade Center towers when they were being constructed and walked them.
Kev, I watched that because, I'm an extreme sports guy.
It's my favorite documentary of all time.
That the thing I didn't like, and they shouldn't have done. Yes, he shouldn't be allowed to do that, and yes, he needs to be taken in and questioned and fined, and if you got to have him overnight in jail, that's fine too. But at the end of the wire on the other tower, 2 police officers waving him in as he's finishing, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
That you can wait, but he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
He's not going to go anywhere. You let him finish instead of like intimidating him. I thought that was bullshit. That really angered me. Yeah. That they couldn't just back. They were like reaching for him and, standing there with their arms. Don't do that.
Well, and because they did that, he stayed out there longer. Had they not been there, he would have gotten off a lot earlier than what he did. He went 13 times across and back.
Yeah, they should not have done that. I mean, just he's not going anywhere. You got one set of cops on one of the World Trade Center towers and one on the other. And when he comes down, you can grab him.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done that because I felt for him then. He's trying to do. I mean, that's intense shit right there, man.
You think?
Yeah, you're 1,100 feet up, man. And you're dead. He doesn't have a net.
No net.
He's dead.
Yep.
God, I love that stuff. Anyway, Carl Banish, the base jumping inventor.
Yeah.
I guess he thought he was like really, really like indestructible because he did a jump that ended up on the world. Him and his wife broke the world record on an ABC program. I think it was Robert Frost and a young Kathy Lee Gifford were the host.
Okay. It wasn't that incredible?
No, Kathy Lee Gifford.
Okay.
Frank Gifford's wife.
Yeah. Not Kathy Lee Crosby.
Not Kathy Lee Crosby.
Right.
But they did the jump. They broke the world record. And that night, he's like, oh, now I'm going to go to the one. They told me not to jump because after you drop the rock, it lands really quickly. But I can jump out from it. He thought he could. He died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1984.
That's what I was going to ask. Is the world record the shortest altitude, the lowest altitude, or would it be the highest altitude to base jump? Because I would think that the higher the altitude, the safer the base, the jump is. The lower the altitude, okay, you got a record there.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kev. You did 4,000 feet. Ooh, big deal. I mean, you had plenty of time to open the chute, float down. I'll go. The guy who does 210 feet. Let's do it.
Exactly. That's the record.
I'm impressed because I don't know if you remember this or not. When we worked at the LNC Tower in Nashville, I was talking as a publicity stunt to launch our first ever morning radio show. I wanted to base jump off the LNC Tower.
You asked numerous times. You asked for that,
and they did not want me to do that.
Yeah,
and now I see why. It's a little tight.
Well, the other reason too is because 10 months before we hit the air, somebody base jumped without a parachute. So
exactly,
yeah, didn't need that publicity again.
Dude, that changed a lot of people's day.
It certainly did. It did.
I forget. Oh, was it Laura Tosh?
Yep. Gummo.
She was the secretary.
Yeah.
Like the receptionist, and she just notices this lady, walking in and wanting to check out the observation deck, and she looks over, and suddenly the lady's not there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had some Green Day playing in her headphones and took the leap.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Kevin, you're talking about me basing. The reason I'm getting into this is I'm thinking of like launching a YouTube series. Generation X, we're not dead yet, and me just doing some crazy fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about it.
That'd be awesome.
Thinking about it.
Would you start with base jumping?
I don't know. But I'd want to do all kinds of stuff. Like I would want to do cliff diving and
swim with sharks.
I want to jump as high as I can off of a building into the pool, like a hotel building into the pool. I want to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want to do that. I want to go in a cage with sharks. Wow. Great whites. I want to do all that.
Okay.
I think I do, and just do a YouTube series, The old guys, we're not dead yet.
That's a great name for it.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Be a great name for it.
I mean, Gen X, Kev, we're Gen X,
Yeah.
We were the original extreme sports people.
Exactly right.
We did all that stuff, the bungee jumping, the cliff diving, the stuff that you see, that was us. So, that's something I was thinking about.
Carry that torch, Timmy.
Yeah. My ex-wives are all for it. They're like, do that. You got my support 100%. Motherfucker. All right, Kev, got to wrap it up.
Okay, buddy.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
As usual, hey, please do us a favor. Download this episode. If you're on one of our platforms right now, please hit the download. Pressing play is fine, but they keep score by download. So we ask that you would do that for us. Give us a rating. Follow us. Tell your friends about us. Like us. We got merchandise on the Tuttle and Kline Facebook. We have Tuttle and Kline Instagram, Tuttle and Kline TikTok that has daily snippets from the show that we have a lot of fun with. Kev, anything coming up this week? What do you got going on this week?
Well, if I could, I'd like to plug this for anybody who's listening in the Springfield area or who doesn't mind making a 9-hour drive from Houston to Springfield. On Sunday, March 9th, we are showing Delivering Hope, the documentary made about my November 2019 run in Alaska. We're showing at one of the theaters here in Springfield as a fundraiser for the hockey team. So it's a 3:00 in the afternoon matinee, and tickets are on sale. I've got the link right down there on the bottom of the screen, and we'll do a Q&A afterwards with one of the guys in the film, me. Wow.
So Sunday, March 9th, Delivering Hope.
Uh-huh.
And then the next Sunday, the 16th, I'm going to have a viewing of Deliverance. The live version. Squeal like a pig, boy.
Nice.
Go on, Kev. I got to go.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.